Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jose Van Smith. I'm your host for the ICIT Right Now television show. Today we are honored to have as our special guest Mr. Jeremy Sobecki, the Superintendent of LaPorte County Parks. At this moment, if you all would please join us as we in a brief invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the love and the blessings from your Son, our Lord and Savior Christ Jesus Christ. We ask that you bless our President, O Lord, that you lead, guide him, and protect him, and give him the wisdom and the forethought to develop to lead our superpower throughout into the 21st century. Lord, we ask that you bless our governors and also in our legislature and our judiciary. Lord, bless the great state of Indiana. Bless our county commissioners and this wonderful city, Michigan City. Lord, we ask that you bless our mayor, Honorable Dwayne Perry, and keep us all in your will and just help us to be dutiful stewards of thine. We ask these blessings in Jesus' name, amen. And now will you all rise and join me as we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America, and may God bless you all. Today, we are honored to have as our special guest, Mr. Jeremy Sobecki. Mr. Sobecki is Superintendent of LaPorte County Parks. Mr. Sobecki, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. We're honored to have you here, and we thank you for your service. But sir, if you will allow me a moment to just mention to our viewing audience a brief statement as to the 2020 mission statement of the ICIT 501c3. ICIT, which is the acronym for Indiana Corporate Industries Technology Industrial Corporation, 501c3, is committed and dedicated to serving Americans with disabilities, senior citizens. We're a charitable educational broadcast media. We're in community development and revitalization. ICIT is advocacy, intervention, referral, fair housing, new construction, employment opportunities, and supportive services. Since 2013, we have served as a nonprofit membership-based community developers. Our fundamental objective and primary goal is to develop and maintain affordable green multi-residential properties and sustainable employment opportunities. Our official policy position and top priority place great emphasis and will remain steadfast to building affordable low-income housing, facilities, and provisions to provide a better standard of living with essential project amenities for Hoosiers. Safety and security resources and personnel on site, including accommodations for moderate income tenants. Tune in to Right Now TV in LaPorte County on Comcast Channel 99 at 4 p.m. on Mondays and 6 p.m. on Thursdays. Or you can log into our YouTube channel at Rightnowtv/IN. That's Rightnowtv/IN. We want to thank you for your support. I'm Brother Jose Van Smith, and I am the founder of the Indiana Corporate Industries Technology, Inc., a 501c3 public benefit corporation. Our office is located in the Evergreen Plaza at 1912 US Highway 20, Suite 207 and 208 in Michigan City, Indiana. You can email me at email me at josevansmith47@yahoo.com for more information about ICIT. All contributions, donations, and funding sources are tax deductible. Thank you again for your support. And now, without any further delay, we are honored again to have as our special guest Mr. Jeremy Sobecki, the Superintendent of LaPorte County Parks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And we're honored to meet you.
Yes, yes. So,
Tell us about it. How did it all begin, sir?
well, so I'm from LaPorte County. I grew up in LaPorte and went to college in Kentucky. Came back home
Bless your heart.
a couple years ago. Came back home for this position, and been here 5 years with the LaPorte County Parks now. So, yeah.
All right. We wish you the best.
Oh, thank you.
You have our support. Tell us about some of your a day in the life of the superintendent of LaPorte County Parks.
Yeah, so we have LaPorte County Parks has about 600 acres of parkland for that's open to the public, LaPorte County residents and other residents as well. But we have, like I said, about 600 acres, 4 parks that are 4 main parks that are open to the public, and actually one that we have a piece of property down on the Kankakee River that's only accessible by boat or canoe. So that's kind of a unique property as well. Our mission is to preserve and protect our natural, cultural, and recreational resources within our park system. And we provide, like Brother Smith was saying there about, we provide educational and recreational opportunities for people of all walks of life in LaPorte County, whether we try to accommodate all abilities and interests in LaPorte County of our residents.
Amen.
So,
Super.
So how do we do that? You know,
Yes.
how do we? That's a big task to try to be something for everybody and provide something. Most of our parks are natural type areas, what I call a passive recreation. You know, hiking, biking, picnicking, and stuff like that. So those are the things we try to offer for the most part to our residents.
Fabulous. Sounds like a walk down the Bitter Creek and Big Sky.
Yeah. So
Well, no. So tell me, how many parks do we have in LaPorte County?
So currently we have 4 county parks. Now that a lot of people get confused on county parks, and then so we're LaPorte County Parks, and there's LaPorte City Parks and Michigan City Parks. So we're kind of out in the county. We're not in any city limits, things like that. So we have 4 parks, and I can go into detail on each of those and where those are at if you know.
Sure. I mean, we'd like to, and would you identify what they are? What are the names of your parks?
Yeah. So first off, the 4 parks are Red Mill County Park, Creek Ridge County Park, Bloom County Park, and LUHR County Park. And so those are the 4 main parks in our park system currently.
Would you care to expound on that? Let's start with Red Mill.
Yeah, sure.
Tell us about Red Mill.
Red Mill.
Where is Red Mill?
Red Mill
I see your
is
brochure here.
if you take Highway 421 south out of Michigan City, it's kind of in between Michigan City and Westville. If you get down close to PNW, it's off of Holmesville Road, and it has a LaPorte address actually, but it's closer to Michigan City and Westville than it is LaPorte. It was opened in 2002. It's our newest park that we have open. It's got about 160 acres. Lots of hiking trails, rustic I would call them hiking trails, lots of hills. So like the main natural feature of that property is that it's a big wetland, and it is the headwaters of the Little Calumet River. So it's a constantly flowing system. It's got a waterfall. It's got Lots of nice facilities there. We have a rental hall there, which is called Smith Hall.
I see a J. Smith Hall.
Yeah, Patricia
Hey!
Smith Hall. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful facility. People,
Sound like it was made in my honor.
yeah. People can rent that for weddings, graduations, all kinds of different events. We hold
Excellent.
a daddy-daughter dance there.
Oh, marvelous.
We just had that actually this past weekend, and had full nights both nights, and lots of people come there.
How many people can we accommodate there?
So it depends how you set it up, but 120 is the maximum capacity there.
Super.
Which is a pretty good size facility.
Is there like a stage or auditorium?
Not
or
a stage.
Do you have
There's a
podium?
kitchen. There's a full kitchen you can
Okay,
use.
okay.
Out on the back, there's a real nice deck overlooking the wetland too that you get with that.
Okay.
And then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Super.
We
That's
provide
beautiful.
We provide the tables, chairs, all of that stuff, and you set it up how you want it. So.
Now, sir, what about this? I see the environmental education center. Is that the same facility, or
No,
is that
that's
different?
that's kind of across the wetland, but
Okay.
it's a smaller facility, can accommodate about 100. It's an indoor facility with kitchens. It's got a kitchen as well, but it does have 2 levels. And so if that's a issue with accessibility, I would suggest the Smith Hall there. But we do have a wheelchair ramp going up to the upper level.
Super.
So it is accessible. It's just
Handicap
a little tougher.
accessible.
Yeah, it is accessible, but it's a little tougher because you got an upstairs and a downstairs.
But the Smith Hall, is definitely
absolutely,
it's handicap
wheelchair handicap accessible. Yep.
And you mentioned there is a kitchen there also,
On both of them, yep.
and you get the views there.
Oh, yeah. Both of them have views of the wetland. They sit right on the wetland, and you can see that.
I can imagine. Is it a challenge, when when the park is open and the kids are out there and with the families? Do you run into many instances where they may get lost?
We don't have as many here. I've been at places in the past, like Brown County, where I used to work, and things like that, where we did have that, and it can happen.
Right.
But yeah, it's.
So you guys are ready for that?
Yeah.
That's super.
We have staff, and
Glad to hear that.
We have obviously good support from the sheriff's department when we need anything from a situation like that, or if somebody was to get hurt, which we don't have much, luckily, either. But
I'm glad to hear that.
so.
And that's Red Mill.
Red Mill, yep.
Red Mill County Park.
Yeah.
All right.
So beautiful hiking, beautiful birding. If you like to look at birds, and identify birds, we've got a beautiful boardwalk that goes across the wetland now, so it makes a nice loop trail. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful park, and scenes you wouldn't think you'd see here in LaPorte County, right here next to us. So.
Yeah. I mean, with cascading waterfalls.
Yeah.
This is in Indiana.
Yeah.
Where it feels like you're in the Rocky Mountains or somewhere like that.
Yeah, maybe not the mountains that you'd see out there, but we definitely have some nice terrain there, and a beautiful park. And if you haven't been there, you really should check it out. It's free and open to the public to do the trails. We have playgrounds there, volleyball nets,
Yes.
and all kinds of fun stuff.
Picnic shelters,
picnics and,
exercise equipment.
Yep.
Fabulous. The volleyball in the building. Now that's the Red Mill County Park.
Yep.
And where is that located, sir?
Yeah, so again, you take 421 south until you get down to Holmesville Road, and you'll take a left. There's signage on the highway, so you'll be able to see that, and you'll take a left, and it's another just a couple miles. Really, from down by like the I-94, it's probably only about 6 miles out of town. A lot of people think it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's really not that far from Michigan City. So
Super. Now, contact information. Who do we contact to if we wanted to have an event,
Sure.
Or if you just wanted to go out and
yeah, you can
and spend a day with your church group or something.
Right. So I would check out our website. Is one thing you can do to just look at all the sites, which is www.laportecountyparks.org. and if you want to make a reservation or have questions about the park facilities at Red Mill, you call 219-325-8315, and we'll set you up with all the information you need on that one. So
super, Mr. Superintendent. I mean, let's go on to the next.
Sure.
The next big thing here in LaPorte County, and that's the Creek Ridge County Park.
Yeah.
Tell us about Creek Ridge.
Creek Ridge is our most visited park here in LaPorte County that we operate. It's the closest to Michigan City. It's right down on 400 North, just out of town. So if you go over by Walmart and take a left off of 421 on 400 North, that'll take you right to the park, about 3 miles down the road. So that park is
3 miles down the road to the left.
Yeah, if you turn left on 400 North, it's about 3 miles down from 421. So
is that where they got the camp? Is there a camp? I believe a camp park there or something.
No, we don't have any camping. No. We have at Creek Ridge we have three picnic shelters that are available.
Okay.
And to rent anywhere from, you can accommodate anywhere from 60 to 150 people in any of those shelter houses. That's
super.
Like I said, it is our busiest park. It's the location where we do our in September we have our it's Pioneer Days, which is people dress up in pioneer clad,
Whoa, and do reenactments.
Yeah, we cook popcorn in an open kettle.
Whoa,
and that's kind of interesting.
Do they roll out the covered wagons and all that?
We do have a horse-drawn wagon rides.
Okay.
It's not covered wagons, but yeah, we do have some nice rides there, and then we have people doing different kind of craft projects
to create that nostalgic effect.
So lots of fires going, and it smells like a campfire when you go in, and that kind of thing. So that's usually right around the end of September.
Now, is the disc golf course, is that part of the park?
Yeah, that's our 9-hole disc golf course. We have it's
interesting.
So it's basically it's a specialized frisbee. If you're not familiar with disc golf, it's a specialized frisbee, and you start at a tee just like you would if you're golfing, and you're throwing your disc to try to get it into these baskets, basically.
I've seen that in Montana.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. A lot of people.
It's a pretty popular deal.
Yeah, a lot of people get into that. So, and there's tournaments and all kinds of stuff that people do, and there's state champions and all kinds of stuff. So good. And we have those disc golfs available at the office at Red Mill too to sell if you're interested in those and that kind of thing.
Fabulous. Now, what about your dog park? Tell me about that.
So Creek Ridge is also our busiest dog park. So it's a no leash dog facility. Anywhere else in the park, you have to have your dog on a leash. You can't just leave.
For your Fidos.
Yeah. So everybody's got their dogs, and especially if you live in town and don't have a place to let your dog run.
Creek Ridge.
Creek Ridge has a dog park, and
super.
Red Mill's actually our only park that doesn't have a dog park. But the people, it's almost like a community. These people become friends, and they've and their dogs become friends, and it's a very affordable. We do charge for that. It's either $3 a day or $30 for the whole year for the dog.
Okay.
And if you have a second dog, it's just $10. So I mean, it's for the whole year. You can have a place to take your dog and run and have fun. And there's dog obstacles out there and other things like that. So
super. Clean up behind your pets, though, right?
Yes. We provide the bags and we provide trash containers right there. So
right, but that's important that you observe that ordinance.
Yes, for sure. So
we have so we've got the disc golf course. You got the dog park. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the wetlands.
We have the main attraction there, as far as natural attraction, is Trail Creek. So you can.
That is part of Trail Creek.
Yes, the steelhead come up and they'll try to spawn there. And the salmon will be up there. So and we have almost actually a mile of bank line there, owned by the park. That you can fish. So we have access right down to the creek, and a lot of people come in there to fish.
And where is this located at Jeremy?
As far as the park?
Yes.
Yeah, so again, you take 421 south, if you know where Walmart is in Michigan City, you'll take a
Yes.
left there on 400 north, and it'll just about 3 miles, it'll take you right to Creek Ridge County Park. There's a sign.
I did not know Trail Creek went back up in there that far.
It's a beautiful section of Trail Creek. It's narrower than down here by Michigan City and shallow, and it gets really clear. You can see, the bottom really nice, and there are some nice waterfall, not deep waterfall structures, but we recently did a improvement project down there to try to keep the banks from eroding, and we put in-stream rock structures. We had a contractor do it, but that caused some water flow, some pretty water flow structures there, and then actually is creating fish habitat as well. So yeah,
Fabulous.
it's a nice.
So they are you stock it, or
We don't. The DNR does stock Trail Creek. We don't.
No, DNR for those who not.
Department of Natural Resources.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the fisheries
Super.
section. So, but yeah, we also there's a boardwalk going down to the creek. So there's a pretty good hill going down to the creek, but there's a accessible boardwalk down to the creek to where people can get right down there and see the salmon and steelhead running, and yeah, it's a really beautiful.
I imagine it is.
Yep.
I imagine it is. Now, are you able? Is the public allowed to fish there?
Yeah, you have to have your fishing license and a trout and salmon stamp because of the fact that those are trout and salmon. We need to have your state of Indiana fishing license and trout and salmon stamp. So
Yeah, super.
but open to the public for sure.
Was there a limit on how many trout or salmon you can catch?
Yeah, you can keep 5 of any kind or a combination of several kinds. So if you catch a couple salmon and a couple steelhead, you can keep 5 total. So.
And when is that season going?
I mean, the coho are running right now in Michigan City. They aren't going all the way up to Creek Ridge and that, but there are steelhead that are coming up to the spawning grounds right now. So spawning for steelhead is usually early spring. And they like that shallow, rocky, gravelly areas like Creek Ridge.
Yeah, because there's an area here in Michigan City on Springland, I believe, where they go in and they spawn back in there.
Yep.
Now, is that a contributory that goes on out to you guys?
It's the same one before it, before it gets to us. So we're a long ways upstream from that, but yeah.
I didn't know it kept on.
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
No, it goes all the way up to Creek Ridge and then beyond that even. So
Wow.
just keeps getting shallower and narrower.
Now, you board is Waterford Creek part of?
So our
Creek
property goes right over to Waterford Creek, and that's our easternmost boundary. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay. And all right. And again, you to learn more about it, you can log into LaPorte County Parks.
.org. Yeah.
Okay.
Or give us a call.
Yeah.
So.
And if you got any problems, you can always contact the superintendent.
That's right.
Mr. Jeremy Sobecki.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you for that intro on the Creek Ridge County Park. And then we have the Bloom
County Park. Yep. And it's a different
if
spelling.
you will.
Sound.
Yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing it
Yeah,
properly.
Bloom, just like the blooming flower.
Or Bloomberg, or the newscast
the
people, the media people.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Bloomberg County Park.
Bloom is 96 acres, and it's right near Westville, the town of Westville, on 1100 West. So basically, you're going to go down 421, and when you get to the first stoplight before you get to Westville, there's a gas station on your left. You'll take a right on that road, and it'll take you right. You just follow the signs to Bloom. Bloom is an interesting property. It's and I didn't say this about the other two, but we have paved trails at every property that we have. So we have wheelchair accessible trails for at every park, which is great for the people who don't have the ability to walk a more rugged trail.
Yes.
Red Mill is limited because it's very hilly, but there are still some paved trails there.
Super.
But Bloom if you got kids that really like to ride bikes, that is probably the best park to go to. You can ride about 2.5 miles on paved trail.
Wow.
And not even have to cross a road. So these are really nice trails.
Fabulous.
You know, that people can go on, and they go through some really older growth woods and some beautiful wildflower areas in both the woods, and we have about 7 acres of prairie wildflowers that bloom and starting in you know, the late spring and go through till early fall. It's a beautiful park. There's almost always a breeze there. You can go there in the middle of the summer when it just seems still as can be everywhere else. It just kind of sits up on a hill and you catch a little breeze and it cools you off a little bit.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it already.
Yeah, so and then there's a picnic shelter there that you can rent that's got about 78. You can put 78 people there.
Is that the Grove Shelter?
Yeah, yep. So Grove Shelter, and then yeah.
And do all parks have what we call legends? You know,
there's
throughout.
We're working on getting updating our signage and stuff over the years, but
kiosk.
Information kiosk,
Yes.
to tell a little bit about the park and some of the history of it. We all of our parks have somewhere where you can pick up a map, and that way you can navigate the trails well and find out a little bit of history about the parks as well.
Yes.
And how they came to be.
And where the main interest is to the park, as opposed to just coming out and just thinking. I mean, we're cutting
park
across
on the
field.
side of the road. Or,
So there's a structure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about Bloom is that we do have multiple use trails there. We have horse trails. We actually have horse trails at Bloom County Park. Probably about 6 miles of horse trails, and then mountain bike trails as well. And I failed to mention that about Red Mill, but we're working on reopening our mountain bike trails there as well. So we're getting that coming.
Now the mountain bikes, are we talking about for the BMX people?
Yeah, I mean they're dirt trails that you can ride, you know, just you're not like motorcycle type things, but your manual powered bikes, I'll say. But yeah, your dirt bikes and stuff like that.
Super. And for those of you who just recently tuned in, you're watching the ICIT Right Now television broadcast to you from Access LaPorte County out of Michigan, beautiful downtown Michigan City, Indiana. My name is Jose Van Smith. I'm your host, and this segment is underwritten in part by our good friends over at Wallen Auto 2. Wallen Auto 2, if you've got some domestic informed automobile issues, stop by Wallen. Mimo's House of Pancakes restaurant located in Michigan City, Indiana. They also just opened up a new Mimo's in Walkerton. So stop by there where they really load you up. We'd like to also acknowledge our good friends over at Emmanuel Lutheran Church for thoughtful theology and compassionate service and an extraordinary community. Stop by Emmanuel Lutheran. They're located at 1237 East Cool Springs Avenue. Let's speak to Pastor David R. Solom if you've got some issues or concerns. We also would like to take a moment to acknowledge the Honorable Mayor of Michigan City, the newly elected Dwayne Perry. And also we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the Honorable Judge Thomas Alviso, Judge Michael Ferguson, and the Honorable Judge Richard Staubach, and also the City Councilman. We want to thank also we'd like to acknowledge our good friends over at Meals on Wheels. You know, they've been serving Michigan City forever. And if you've got some time, or if you know, they need your support. We can always use a hand at Meals on Wheels, be it volunteering or making a contribution. But yeah, give them a call. That's 219-872-9117. Speak to Cheryl, the director, and just tell her, hey, just let her know, hey, you're available. You know, what can you do? Where do you need me? All right, you can do, they provide home delivered meals. short-term or long-term. Meals on Wheels is ready to roll. So yeah, stop by or give them a call. That's Meals on Wheels in Michigan City, Indiana, and their office here is located at 301 East 8th Street in Suite 110. Yeah, so stop by and give them a call if you got some time to volunteer and want to make a difference in the community. We also like to acknowledge our good friends over at the LaPorte County Senior Resource that produces the LaPorte County Senior Resource Guide. So if give them a call and ask them about this, sending out a copy of the publication. That's the LaPorte County Triad. So so for those of you who, if you're a senior citizen and you need to, this is especially for you. Contact the LaPorte County Triad and ask them to send you out a copy of their resource guide. It's a fabulous piece of material, and it's got information from A to Z affecting our senior citizens. So yeah, call them and ask for the 2020-2021 edition of LaPorte County Resource Guide. Thank you all for tuning into our broadcast. Today we are honored to have as our special guest the Superintendent of LaPorte County Parks, Mr. Jeremy Sobecki. Mr. Sobecki, we were talking about the Bloom Park and some of their great amenities. Where's Bloom Park located?
Okay, yeah, again, you take 421 south, just before you get to Westville, you're gonna, at the stoplight there, you'll see a sign that says Bloom County Park, and take a right, and that, just follow the signs to Bloom County Park, just right outside of Westville. The cool thing about that too is you can take a trail, a separated trail from the park all the way into Westville. You can take a bike or walk all the way into Westville on a paved trail, which is kind of neat, and like to see that expanded someday to where we could maybe move, keep going north, maybe up to PNW with a trail and connect all those trails together and keep people active and healthier, living a healthier lifestyle and riding and walking places,
And again, it is horses.
Yep.
It is designated for horses.
Yeah,
You have a horse trail.
Got to keep the horses off of the paved trail though. Keep them on the grassy areas and the dirt.
So, are you able to freely? Do they rent? I mean, can you rent rent a ride? Or?
No, it's all private. People bring their horses in on trailers.
Okay, and you make arrangements to do a trail.
Yep, yeah, it's open to the public, and there's a parking area for your horse trailers, and it's kind of on your own.
And then it is, of course, the wheelchair accessible.
Yep.
The Gus Trail.
Yeah, Gus Trail. Yeah, that's a nice trail that goes through our out into that's where the horse trail goes out into the West Woods of Bloom County Park. It's kind of separated. That park has two different East Woods and a West Woods, very similar type habitat, but they're really nice older growth woods that have some poplar trees that are just amazing in size, and you'll appreciate that if you get out there and hike.
Lincoln Memorial, what's going on there?
Yeah, so Lincoln Memorial Trail, so the old railroad bed that runs through there, that park, is actually, there was back in the day, Abraham Lincoln, on his when he passed away, was on a train that came through that area, and so that whole corridor there is called Lincoln Memorial.
That's historic.
Trail. Yeah, so it's a historic railroad.
Wonderful.
So.
And then we have the Bloom East Woods.
Yeah, the East Woods is probably one of the prettiest wooded wildflower area that we have in our park system. So if you like
nature,
native wildflowers and nature,
yes.
Bloom, and Bloom is, I would say Bloom is our quietest park. It's kind of out far enough away from railroads and airports and then the highways, like Creek Ridge has the I-94 that runs right next to it, so you hear that. But this one, you get really away from all that traffic and hustle and bustle of our bigger towns in LaPorte.
And you have, like you said, is it a 1.4 miles of designated horse trail?
Yeah, the others are the multi-use trails are actually 6 miles too, so you can use you can use the designated horse trail, and then you can go on the multi-use trail, which is mountain biking. And
that's all in the same at Bloom?
Yeah, that's all out at Bloom. The multi-use trails are out here in the West Woods. We have a really nice dog park there as well, similar to the one at Creek Ridge, not quite as visited. So if your dog maybe doesn't want to be around that many dogs, then you can go to the one at Bloom. And when you buy your annual pass for your dog park at any of our parks, it's good for all 3 of our dog parks, and then the one at the animal shelter too in LaPorte. So you can take it to any of them. Wow,
that's great. That's great. And now to our viewing audience that just tuned in, you are watching the ICIT Right Now TV, LaPorte County. Today we are honored to have Mr. Jeremy Sobecki, Superintendent of LaPorte County Parks, as our special guest. Mr. Sobecki, tell us about, and they do have that's Bloom. Yep. They also have the parking boundaries, the playground, parking facilities, restrooms.
Yep.
Picnic shelter.
Yeah.
All right, the picnic shelter.
Yeah, we have the Bloom shelter, the Grove shelter.
Oh, okay.
Grove shelter will hold 78 people. It's rentable. You just call our office at 325-8315 and talk to us about that. That one is available many times when some of our other ones aren't. So and we're not that far from Michigan City. A lot of people want to go to Creek Ridge, but those shelters fill up pretty quick. Bloom isn't that far, and you pretty much got that whole place to yourself because you don't have 3 other shelters, right around you. So yeah, that's a really nice shelter, really quiet, really good place.
Are you allowed to camp? Yeah,
no, we do. We don't have any campgrounds at our 4 parks here that we're
similar to the dunes.
No, yeah, we don't have any overnight facilities. The only place
we don't take offense.
Yeah, right. The only one we have that you could do that is the one I was talking about early on the Kankakee River, where you have to take a canoe or a boat in. There is a small campground there, primitive,
super.
No water, no electric, anything like that. But if you're one of those people that likes to go and camp away from everything and take everything in yourself, then that would be one and you'd have to call us to talk about that, because it's a little bit of a remote area, and it's not something that you can just drive up and see.
You're gonna have to work to get to there, and sure. you either gotta go on a canoe or a raft or something, a boat or
So
gotcha. That's super. And then you also have the mountain bike trail.
Yes, mountain bike trails
and the volleyball
and lots of hiking and Yep.
That's Bloom Park. And again, if you to find out more information, you can just log in
to our website, LaPorteCountyParks.org, or give us a call at the office, 325-8315.
And last but not least, sir, tell us about, let me see if I'm pronouncing this right. Is it
LUHR County Park.
LUHR.
Yeah, LUHR. That's
LUHR County Park.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd spelling for the word lure. You think of maybe a fishing lure or something. But the reason for the spelling of LUHR is Mr. Bud Lure and his wife donated that property.
That was mighty generous of them.
Yeah, they wanted it to be a county park, and so they donated 74 acres back, back in 1985. So, and then recently, just this past year, actually, we got another 15 acres donated from our LaPorte County Park Foundation. So that brings that total acreage up to 89 acres.
So the county do have a park foundation?
We do. The Park Foundation does, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we do have a park foundation.
Well, let's talk about LUHR.
Yeah, so
LUHR County Parks.
LUHR, we have a nature center there, which is different than any of our other parks. We have two nature center staff, full-time nature center staff that do education programming.
Okay.
If you're a teacher and wants to have a field trip out to any of our parks, or but particularly LUHR, you can bring your kids and set up programming related to nature and different things, even fishing. They'll take you fishing. We provide the fishing poles and the bait at LUHR. We have a 2-acre pond there, and the Nature Center staff is happy to set something up with you, any kind of programming that might fit into your curriculum, anything like that. And then recently we've started going, Nature Nikki is our naturalist. She goes into the classrooms in the winter and takes salamanders and snakes and turtles, so the kids can see those and talk about the difference of salamander. Or,
you say nature who?
Nature Nikki. Nature Nikki is our full-time chief naturalist, and she's just
that's amazing. That's marvelous.
Yeah. So the kids get to touch and feel.
You got to bring her on here on one of these occasions.
So,
we would be honored.
Yeah. So
wow. So they have a person that actually comes out or goes to schools?
Yeah, goes to schools or has
even field trips
to our parks. So
yeah.
Anytime any teacher would want to do that, all they'd have to do is again call our office, and we'll get them in touch with Nikki and see if we can get something scheduled. So
fabulous.
Yeah.
Do they have picnic tables?
Yes, we have. So at LUHR, we have picnic tables, here and there throughout the park, benches. You can take a break and watch wildlife. We have one shelter that is rentable, holds about 100 people, but we're also in the process of building another shelter out there. And recently we got a grant from the Department of Natural Resources to build a new shelter house, parking lot, about a half mile of new paved trail, a rain garden, and then a new restroom. So we're in the process of that. Should be completed with that project probably this year.
Rain garden?
Yeah, it's a rain garden. So a rain garden
sounds like the rainforest.
Yeah, no, not quite. But anyway, it's rain garden is you put that in, and your parking lot basically would drain into what they call a rain garden. So it catches some of your rain,
water.
And it has native plants and stuff that's going to soak up that water and not let it rush down and wash some of it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a French drain.
Yes, kind of. And then
what it's used, when you guys use it to kind of irrigate certain areas.
Well, and it'll filter out the impurities that people's cars obviously aren't always perfect about not dripping oil or anything onto there.
Okay.
So this will hold that. Let it filter in, and then some of the plants will filter some of that out and stuff like that. So yeah, that's
interesting. That's ecology.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's thinking smart.
Trying to do some of that kind of stuff.
Tell us about Morgan Shelter.
Morgan Shelter is attached to the Nature Center. It's a picnic shelter that's available for rent. It'll hold about 100 people. It's named after the person that I took his job when he left. He put in about 25 years or so with the parks. Was one of the first superintendents with the LaPorte County Parks. Just a really nice shelter. It's kind of semi-enclosed, so if it's raining or anything like that, you're not going to be getting rained on while you have your family picnic. Right next to the Nature Center, which is open during the Saturdays and Sundays, and the kids can go in there and check out those snakes and turtles and salamanders. And there's also interactive games. We have a Lego wall in there where they can build stuff with Legos on
in
the wall.
Morgan
in the Nature Center, which is attached to Morgan.
I get you.
So it's all one building. It's all
super excellent.
Yeah. So the Nature Center, like I said, they do all kinds of programming out there at LUHR. We have stuff for senior citizens. We call it Healthy Lifestyles. It's a social group more than anything, but they do things about. Let's see here. I got some information on the Healthy Lifestyles. Some of the stuff that they do. Where's it at? Yeah, so March 4th, they're going to talk about recycling, what they can recycle. They got Sasha from the solid waste district coming.
Yes.
April 1st, they got foot and ankle care with Dr. Granfield, who's a podiatrist. So this is a senior program. We try to do stuff for all ages. So those are senior programs. We have coffee and tea, and people can come and hang out and just be friendly and learn a little bit while they're there. The Nature Center also does just hikes. They call them sunset strolls. Most of these are all free to the public too, so we're not even gonna charge you to come and go to one of these programs. We do ask that you call the office and pre-register. And then one of the other events we've got coming up too is Spa Day in the park. So at Red Mill on March 14th, we've got a lot of vendors and a lot of people there, and it's a kind of a day to
March
talk about.
14th.
March
Y'all
14th.
Mark that on your calendars.
9:30 to 11:30 at Red
And
Mill.
that's Spa Day.
Spa Day. So
Spa Day.
there'll be vendors there with chair massages and makeup experts,
Okay.
aromatherapy, just things.
Oh, that's super.
Things like that. So the first 50 people get a bag full of goodies that have been donated by the vendors that are going to be there, and
Well, make sure you get there early so you can get your.
Opens at 9:30. So.
Okay.
So those are a few of the programs they do.
And that'll be at LUHR.
That one will be at Red Mill.
Okay.
Call us for more information about that one, but that one's at Red Mill, but that is our Nature Center staff that puts those events on.
Super. Well, back to LUHR.
Yeah.
Just tell me about the hickory. Well, I see you got Trail 1, you've got a LUHR pond. What's going on there?
Yeah, so it's 2 acres pond. It's a stocked pond. It's got bluegill, bass, and catfish in there.
Oh my goodness.
It's a catch and release only pond. It's 2 acres, so when people were keeping fish out of there, they were pretty much fishing it out. So now we're at a catch and release point where we have kids coming, and there's people fishing there just about every day that the weather's decent. So really good fishing. You rarely go there where you don't catch a fish. You almost always catch a fish. Now they may not be monsters, but you do catch.
You'll catch something.
Yeah. So.
It'll be worth your while.
Yeah.
And then you got Trail 1.
Yeah, Trail
1 or playground on Trail 1.
Yeah, so we've got playgrounds scattered throughout that trail. There's several playground pods, we call them the playground pods, that kids can walk and then stop and play at the playground. Mom and Dad
just
can
have a field
take
day.
a break, and there's a bench there, and there's also exercise equipment on that trail. That is free and open to the public, so it's like an outdoor gym basically. There's all kinds of different things, and we recently got a grant from the Healthcare Foundation of LaPorte to put in single unit exercise stations at each park. So we've got the equipment, but we got them right at the end of the year, so that couldn't pour concrete and do all that. But so this spring we'll be putting more exercise equipment in each park, each of our 4 parks.
Is that wood chips down there on the trail creek? On the trail?
On the trail, and then under the playground areas, the landing areas, yeah, it's a wood chip.
Super, wood chip that's great for you for walking.
And walking, and yep.
And then you've got the Bark Park.
Yeah, we do have another dog park there. Again, that's the same fee as what you would have paid for the other one. Other 3 dog parks. So you pay that one fee and you get access to all of those parks. So if you find you don't like one, or you like one better than the other, you can go to whichever park you want.
And your group program area, of course, is where everybody get acclimated.
Yeah. We have some smaller classroom type areas. It's a small amphitheater. I wouldn't call it like a stage or anything, but it's where our staff or a teacher can bring their kids, and a whole class can sit down out there on a bench, and they can teach them about trees or whatever their topic is for the day. So
super. So that's at LUHR. We've got the Hickory Hollow Trail, which is of what, 0.75 miles?
Yeah, 3/4 of a mile.
Crabapple Corner. What's going on there?
Oh, that's a more rugged trail. That's the wood chip or dirt trail that goes out through the wooded part of the property. So it's on the north end of the property. nice trail, gets you out away from the pavement, and lets the kids roam around a little bit more.
Deer Trail Pass. What's going on here?
Yeah, so that is we just recently paved part of that, so that's another one that is a paved trail and nice property, and we just, like I said, we just added 15 acres to that property to the south. It's not on this map just yet because we're still in the middle of making it. We put some observation decks out there for people to be able to watch. It's a prairie, kind of a sedge meadow habitat, so a lot of grasses and flowers and things like that out there for the birds and on that kind of thing. So,
Lumberjack Trail.
yeah, that's a little bit rougher trail that goes out, and if it's been very wet, you want to wear your boots on that one. So yeah, that's another dirt trail out there. So.
You know, and there you have it. You know, you all, we're blessed to have a man of his caliber serving as the superintendent for LaPorte County Parks. Mr. Jeremy Sobecki, we commend you.
Oh, thank you.
You are the right one for this. You're the right stuff. You know, and I'm serious. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but they sure made an extraordinary selection of choice when they appointed you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and you have an excellent, I mean, a tremendous command of your facts, and I don't know how you do it.
Well, I've been doing it a while. You know, I worked for DNR for quite a few years in state parks and got, lucky to be able to come back home. And that's when this job opened up, I was just excited. I wasn't looking for a job, but somebody called me and said, hey, isn't this your hometown? And it just so happened that I got the job, and really excited to be back home near my family and my parents and
Bless your heart.
So yeah.
We call it a labor of love because we enjoy what we do.
Yep. That's
you know, and if you don't do, if you don't, you shouldn't do it.
Right.
You know, because I mean, it's the only way you're going to get any real gratification out of it. You know, it's what we do. And it's the reason why we're here. Mm-hmm. And we, again, Mr. Jeremy Sobecki is a superintendent of LaPorte County Parks. How are you guys funded?
We're funded. Most of our funding comes from the county, so we have a budget just like every other county department. But we also have, like we mentioned earlier, and I thought I'd mention a little more about, is our LaPorte County Park Foundation. They fund all kinds of different projects for us. They provided funding for natural resource management to manage some of the invasive species. They bought us equipment like golf carts to be, with the dump beds on, to be able to be a little more quiet around the parks instead of driving trucks or things like that.
And wearing your feet out.
Yeah, and then they've provided grant matches. That's probably their biggest role for us, is like when we get a grant like we did for what I was talking about at LUHR. It's a $400,000 grant, and we have to come up with $200,000 of that. And the way we were able to do that between the Healthcare Foundation, my LaPorte County Park Foundation, and a couple of other donors, we were able to not ask the county for any money to match that $200,000, or to match their $200,000. So we came up with $200,000 between the Healthcare Foundation, my Park Foundation, and then a couple of other donations.
That's tremendous.
So if you're interested in giving to our Park Foundation, give us a call again at 325-8315, and we can get you in touch with the Park Foundation. People have donated land over the years, and a lot of times they donate it to our foundation, and we're able to use that as match for these grants to develop that.
Well, our county, I must say, our county should be more than as enthusiastic about supporting you guys.
Yeah,
because you're great. You're credit to our great county and to our great state. And for those of you all who are just fed up with cabin fever, now's the time to start putting together your gear, your hiking boots.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I've sprung forward. Okay, you fall back, you spring forward. Now it's time to spring.
Yeah.
Spring into action. Go out and visit one of our local LaPorte County parks. You got 4 extraordinary parks to choose from. And what are they, sir?
LUHR County Park near LaPorte, Bloom County Park near Westville, Red Mill County Park, which is kind of in between Westville and Michigan City, and then you got Creek Ridge just outside of Michigan City.
Super.
So they're great parks. We're very lucky to have parks that we have in LaPorte. You guys, if you haven't been to them, you really need to start using them. They're some beautiful areas, and spring's coming. And everything's going to get green, and you need to get out and check them out. So.
All right, for those of us who might like to be able to support our parks and to keep you in help, how can we help?
Yeah, so if you're interested in we have volunteer opportunities. We are actually right now we have a couple jobs open for the spring. If you're interested,
real paying jobs?
Yes, real
all
paying
right.
jobs.
Hey,
we do take volunteers all the time.
Early bird catch the worm.
Yeah, but we do have a couple of jobs open right now. If you're interested in checking out the parks and working for the parks, possibly give us a call. Again, we would be happy to talk to you about any way we can work together to improve our parks. So
there you have it. Jeremy, give us a thought. I mean, some words of inspiration to our young people and families, our millennials, who just can't quite grasp the significance of our parks.
Parks can provide a beautiful, peaceful place to think, and sometimes you just need to separate yourself from the hustle and bustle of town, or the phones and the internet and all that stuff. So you can come out to a park. Right now, you could come out there and yeah, sure, it's cold, but you could see geese and sandhill cranes and muskrats sitting on top of the ice, which a lot of people have probably never even seen. I mean, come out to Red Mill, come out to some of these parks and just check it out. I mean, they're really beautiful.
Bless your heart.
So
you are really into it, and I'm loving it. We wish you the very best. We're delighted and honored to have as our special guest Jeremy Sobecki, the superintendent of LaPorte County Parks. Get out and visit our parks. They're there for you. They're exquisite. They're high tech, very well maintained by an extraordinary staff.
Right, we do
under the auspices of their superintendent. Again, they are seeking volunteers. If they have some employment opportunities. If you've got what jobs are you
we have our seasonal labor force. We usually have people that need
park maintenance. Do you guys do all that too?
We do all that ourselves.
Super.
So mowing, cleaning restrooms,
groundskeeping,
groundkeeping,
the works.
All of it. We have a nature center staff right now. On some weekends of the year that we need somebody to man the nature center. And
I've done that years ago for Chicago Park District.
Okay, cool.
And I loved it, working on the lakefront.
Yeah, that'd be a good place too.
Yeah, I was born and raised off Lake Michigan, of the Great Lakes. But LaPorte County Parks, you all, they've got, I mean, it's one of our greatest, best kept secrets.
Yeah.
It's time for you all to get out and discover it.
Yeah.
Again, Mr. Jeremy Sobecki is the superintendent. He's all around the place, and he's over 4 magnificent parks: Red Mill, LUHR, Creek Ridge, and Bloom. Log into their website, and where is that at, sir?
LaPorteCountyParks.org, and you can check out any of the parks virtually online, or you can just check out any of the shelters or the rental facilities we have. There's all kinds of information on there you can check out.
Can you like them on Facebook?
You can like us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, so it's just LaPorte County Parks on Facebook. Look us up, and we post all of our events, all of our things, anything going on. A lot of posts about wildlife and things like that as well. So
super. This segment is also brought to you by the 2020 Michigan City, LaPorte County, Indiana Ecumenical Convocation Assembly, promoting formal unity among Christian churches, non-denominations, all faith-based ministries throughout Michigan City, LaPorte County, Indiana. And again, my name is Jose Van Smith, or Brother Smith. I am your host. And today we are honored to have as our special guest the superintendent of LaPorte County Parks, Mr. Jeremy Sobecki. Mr. Sobecki, we want to thank you for coming on the broadcast.
I thank you.
We wish you continued success.
All right.
You are more than welcome. This is your format.
Okay.
Anytime that we can be of service, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just a thought away from you.
All right.
If you got an event planned, or you guys want to raise some funds or make some noise, get in touch with us. We'll bring the band. We'll get the orchestra out there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. May even call the White House.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, we want to thank you, sir, for your service, and thank you all for tuning in to Right Now to the ICIT Right Now television show. We broadcast Mondays at 4 o'clock on channel 99 Comcast, and Thursdays at 6 o'clock on channel 99 Comcast channel. And again, for those of you who'd like to learn more about the LaPorte County parks, give them that.
Get on the website or LaPorteCountyParks.org or call us at 219-325-8315.
And there are special rates for the people with animals. You mentioned.
Yeah.
And if
The dog parks.
Yeah.
And we've got dog parks and all kinds of good stuff.
And how much would you say is the standard rate, and then you have the multiple
Yeah, you can get $3 a day or $30 for the whole year.
for the whole year?
Park. Yep.
That's per animal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there we have it. Hey guys, get out of your house, bring your gals, and make a day out of it. Make it an event. Have fun. Bring the family. Take grandma and grandpa. Get them out of the house and breathe some fresh air and look at nature's beautiful splendor here at LaPorte County Parks. We thank you for the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
You guys are doing extraordinary. I've been looking from a bird's eye view, and it's extraordinary what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.